Hello, dear colleagues. I'm Altuğ Güler, and I'm the Technical and Operations Manager at Prota Software. Thank you very much for joining me today in this webinar. Well, today we will go over automated detail generation, CAD capabilities of ProtaDetails, user-defined sheets with custom title blocks, interactive manual detail generation, detailing of custom formwork with intelligent parametric rebars, and macro library components. Let's briefly explain what ProtaDetails were made for. ProtaDetails is a combination of engineering and detailing tools developed on top of a CAD infrastructure. So first, it's actually a CAD software in the core. But it also allows you to create and organize all structural concrete detail drawings in one go. It also offers design and detailing macros along with an intelligent parametric rebar generation system. Well, let's see it in action. Well, I have completed all my work in ProtaStructure, and now my model is designed and ready for the next stage. When I open ProtaDetails, it welcomes me and asks how would I want to proceed. We have two options here, and today I will demonstrate both of them. First, I want to generate all my detailed drawings automatically. For this purpose, I click Auto Generation. And I select whichever details I would like to take and play with the options to my needs. And then I just simply click Draw and pick a point on the arena. Now, all your detailed drawings are being generated and placed inside your drawing sheets. You can create your own title blocks according to your company standards and to the requirements of different approval authorities. Actually, this is what I'd like to demonstrate next in this webinar. Well, you have just saved hours of detailing work. This is a fantastic feature. You click a button and all your drawings are laying out in front of you. Let's take a quick look at what we have produced. As you see, all my sheets, drawing sheets, are produced. Here are my form plans. But these are not just plain lines, text, etc. These are intelligent objects. What we mean by intelligent objects is that when you select a column, it actually knows that's a column. And you can play with the with any properties of this column, like geometries, section, etc. Or if you select a rebar, you can see that actually you can edit all of the properties of a rebar. And of course, all these drawings are created into the sheets with the quantity takeoffs. This is the quantity summary of this sheet. Let's take a look at the shear wall details. Well, column, shear wall, and core wall details are generated with high precision. So for most cases, you won't need to edit them manually. And of course, this will save you a lot of time. And shear wall holes are displayed in elevations, detail sections, and schedules along with the required rebars. So you don't need to worry about the code-compliant hole detailing at all. Well, column elevations are laid out neatly as well. Well, the confinement regions are detailed according to the code provisions. Here you see these slanting columns details. You can see that the beams connected from the other ends are shown on the details as well. Let's take a look at the column schedules. In the column schedules, you can see that the columns are grouped throughout the stories and also inside the stories as well. This saves you more space, particularly in larger scale projects. Let's take a look at the beam elevations. There is no clashing in beam details either. I have preferred to truncate my beam elevations from the closest axis to the sheet border, so they look very neat inside. I could have truncated them from the sheet border as well. Well, here I would like to show you that again that these are intelligent details. So if I select this rebar, and for some reason if I need to change any of its properties, for example diameter, let's move this right so that we can see the total weight here. As you can see, the total weight is this much, and if I change this diameter to 32, I don't need to update, I don't need to make any update manually. As you can see, when I change this, the beam elevation quantity takeoff updated itself automatically because they are all linked to each other. Well, there's of course a lot more to talk about here, but I would like to, and these are my pad footing details and pie cap details, but I would like to show you how you can create your own title blocks. I will open up a new drawing file for this. You can create as many drawings as you need inside a single project because ProtaDetails is an MDI application. Well, I want to lay out all my form plans on a single very long sheet. For this, I will start. I will open an existing sheet first. I will go to the ProtaLib, and here are my sheets, and I select A0 Prota and open this. Okay, this is an existing sheet. What I would like to do is, okay, maybe I would like to show my client information on this particular title block. So what I do is, let's use the cat properties features of ProtaDetails here. For example, I would like to call the copy command. This is, as you can see, the command line is supported by the program, so you can call any command by just simply typing in. Let's copy both these texts here and edit this one, change it to client. Okay, and how will I make this dynamic? You can find the list of fields that you can bind dynamically to your custom title blocks under project header here. For example, for client name to be dynamic, I need to use this tag. So I just copy this and edit this text and paste it here. Okay, done. But maybe I would like to add my company logo inside this title block. So I call the image command, and I select this image. Okay, and place it here. Of course, it needs some scaling, so I call the scale command. Select this and scale by 50. Let's place this closer to the sheet border. Okay, it's more or less ready. I would like to place all my form plans inside this sheet, so I need to scale it a little bit. I call the scale command. Scale it further. Okay, we're almost done. I just need to export this as a DXF file. So I export it, automatically opens it up for me, and I will change the name to maybe Prota long sheet, just long. I need to move this under the sheets folder to be able to see it from the ProtaDetails. Now, actually, we are ready. Let's open a new file. Now I will draw all the formworks of this project on the sheets that I have just created. So I go to draw form plans and select a new sheet here. As you can see, it is listed now on the sheets list. And I simply click draw. Since all the form plans are could be fit inside this drawing sheet, it didn't use another one. And we don't see any client name here, but if I update my client name from here, for example, for the client, ProtaDetails asked me if I want to change, update all the sheet mark values and all the values that are laying out on the existing sheets, and I say yes. And you see that actually if there were more than one sheet, all of them would be updated at once. Well, there are a lot of enhancement features that you can apply to your dynamic drawing. For example, let's use the form sections. Under the design library, detail library, I can find the plan section command here. I just call it and select 2 points on the arena. And my section is ready, and I would like to place it to the extension of these 2 lines so that it would align perfectly. And with 2021 version, you have a new option to draw vertical sections horizontally as well. So if I select always draw horizontally here and create a new section, it will be created horizontally, and you can place it as you wish, of course. And of course, these are intelligent as well. And if there is any clashing here, you can always manually edit it very fast. Very easy to edit it manually. Because mostly in complex geometries, full automation simply won't work. But you can create stand bars for this key plan, the foundation key plan. The stand bar were created automatically, but you can create a stand bar for any slab or mat foundation. You just simply select it and right click, then draw stand bar, and select the parameters and quantity. You calculate quantity. Then you just place it, and it will be included in your quantity takeoff as well. But you can always place your dimensions manually with the available CAD commands, of course. But there is one more additional feature in ProtaDetails, which is automatic dimensioning. Just like the form section, I select 2 points on the screen. I select 2 points on the screen and show the dimension position. I don't want axis. I would like to insert a total, not insert a total dimension. I simply click OK, and the key plan is dimensioned from the inside. Well, I would like to show you slab drops and hole detailing as well. If you want to constructively add your slab drops or hole details, you can do this from ProtaStructure as well, but if you want, you can additionally make constructive arrangements here on the ProtaDetails. For example, for slab drop, I select the slab drop command, and let's draw a rectangular slab drop here. And as I selected the rebars for cross and parallel rebars, they are all generated together with the rebars. And very interesting feature here is that actually you can use level marks all around the form plans. So if I click here, I see that this slab is at level 6. But if I click here inside slab drop, it knows that it's a slab drop and it shows the level accordingly. But similarly, let's try hole detailing as well. Now this time I would like to draw a polygonal hole. Sorry. Let's draw a polygon. Let's get rid of the ortho. Just close this and it's done. Well, let's see what we can do more with the shear wall elevations and column elevations, since there are a lot of options to apply for them. This time I will start first create the sheets and then place the elevations one by one. So for this purpose I will call this sheet command. So this will be a column elevation. So okay, let's insert it. Alright, so I go to the column elevation drawings and I use the one by one insertion option here. I select this. At the end of the cursor, the elevations are appearing one by one, so that I can insert them to a proper position on the sheet. And since I'm doing this manually, I can save my space. I can craft this to my needs, and I can save more space here. Well, we know this is okay, but we know that showing elevation story by story is not always enough. It is usually better to see how the column is detailed through the stories. Well, how are the rebars doing while column section changes? You can prepare your column elevations through stories as well. So I simply select this column and I would like to see this through the stories. So I click this through the whole all stories, and it's generated here from first floor to the top. And you can actually see the section changing, and the rebars, all rebars are bent according to the code provisions here. Well, of course, it can also handle slanting columns. For a slanting column here, as you can see, it follows the path of the column very precisely. But there are many more options regarding the column detail generation, and you can all review them here. But some design codes require you to lap longitudinal bars at the mid span. This is also possible with ProtaDetails. Let's try this one here. I select this and click OK. Then the next detail column elevation I will create will use this option here. Again, let's make it through the stories. But now I can see that my laps are created at the span of the column. And you can see that the confinement zones are modified accordingly to handle the lap at the span of the column. Additional confinement regions are automatically created at the lap part. But furthermore, you can even see the elevations of columns supported by shear walls. Let's see this one. Again, through the stories, select. Here you can see that the bars are bent into the column, and as the section changes throughout the stories, it just makes the correct detailing through the stories. Also, you can see that the bars that cannot go into the columns are bent back inside the shear wall. Well, I would like to show another great feature coming with 2021 version. Again, I go to the column settings. I'm sorry. Now it is possible to group columns with same section and rebars throughout the stories. For this, I will select column elevations again, and here under the options you can find draw similar columns together, drawing columns together when drawing columns through stories. For this, I will use this one for demonstration. You can do this for all the column elevations through the inside the sheet as well at once. I don't want any sheet here. Place it, and here it is. You can see that the column on the second and third floor are exact matches of each other, so they are just drawn for once. This can save you a lot of paper space for high-rise buildings, especially when you have typical sections for columns at most of the stores, of course. Well, let's prepare the beam elevations of the second floor as an example. Again, I will call the sheet command, and let's insert another sheet here. Well, this time I will close these. This time I will open up beam elevation drawings, and I would like to insert this. I just double clicked and insert, but it doesn't fit inside my drawing sheet. Well, so what would I do? I will just call the crop beam elevation command here, and I place the crop part here, and I can continue to doing this to all of the rest of the details, of course, and so on. But just remember that you could have done all this work automatically like we had in the beginning, but you have much more control when you lay out your details manually this way. So you have more freedom to organize spacing on your drawings. Well, there are like 100 more functionality about automated detail drawings, but I have to leave it here for now. I will open a new drawing inside this project again. As I said, ProtaDetails is an MDI application, so you can create as many drawings as you want. You can save all of them along with your project here. Now I will open an external CAD drawing. Do this. This is a DWG file. Actually, this is a real-life project that I have completed using ProtaStructure, and the detailing were done in ProtaDetails, and I exported it as a ProtaDetails as a drawing file afterwards. This is all made in the ProtaDetails. What I would like to do is actually I would like to detail this pumping chamber here with custom rebar detailing commands. We have a copy of longitudinal and transverse sections of a single block here, and I will start with this part now. I will call the insert the formwork command, which is very handy. What I do is I select the diameter first, and the cover, and all the other parameters, of course, and I just simply click around. I select this specific line and show which side should the rebar be positioned, and I continue. And at the end, I want to use cover, but in the beginning, I would like to extend beyond the anchorage. And when I'm done, select, and I will do the same for the bottom bar here. And this time I would like to use cover at the beginning. And yeah, that's it. And of course I can move around the labels and position them correctly. As same for this part as well. I will go with the anchorage. See how the program calculates the anchorage length and updates whenever the diameter changes. This is done according to the selected code provision, and it updates automatically. In the beginning, I will use the anchorage as well. Same for the other side. This time here I will use the cover, and yes, I guess. All right. Well, this is good. Okay, but how about the other direction rebars? How will I do them? This is the transfer section of it. So let's create the other direction rebars. For this purpose, I will use a 4-point rebar insertion command. This time, our rebar dialog appears, and I just select the U-shape rebar here. As you see, this is a shape dictionary, and you can select any shape, and you can play with the parameters here, or you can insert it and select the parameters according to the geometry that you will insert it in, as I will do now. So I select the diameter here, and I will place this from in between these lines, and maybe it will go here all the way down here. And I will do the same for the other sidebar. Here. Now the rebar quantities are calculated according to the span that I have shown. Well, we know that these rebars should be seen on this section as well. So what I do is I call insert rebar section command and select this rebar and place it from here to all the way down here. And I will say update the rebar quantity according to this new span that I have just shown. It updates it to 40, and let's see, the other view of this rebar is updated as well, because now they are linked together. I will do the same for this bar, from here all the way up to here now, and I will update the quantity, and I will show the label position here. As you see, it is done as well. I can do the same. For the upper position as well. I'll just skip it for now. Okay, what is missing here is actually the tie bar. So what I do is I will go to reinforcements and to tie bars options. I will use batch tie bar between rebars. And after selecting the parameters that I wish, what I do is I just simply select two circle views here, and they are tied together with this tie bar. And of course, I can create links inside any polylines as well. For example, for this one, let's offset this polyline here by a distance of 30 millimeters by color. And I can convert this offsetted polyline into a rebar by selecting this convert to rebar command. And of course, I don't want this type of labeling here, but instead I wish an arrow representation. So I place the arrow here, and it's done. I can continue with detailing of this chamber, and I can complete it in, I don't know, 10 minutes or something. I can add the other part, rebars, etc. But I would like to stop here. But the best part about this is, of course, the quantity takeoff, because all this work, all this rebar generation can be resulted in quantification. And as you see, all the rebars that I've created are quantified correctly and listed inside this quantity takeoff. And we can see that actually we have now the bar marks here. Well, we know that you have a lot of drawing files lying around without any sign of life. Those drawings are usually a bunch of DWG files with polylines and texts that are representing rebars, but they're just simple plain entities. Well, you have to use Excel sheets and manual calculations to measure the quantity. The worst part comes when you have to revise these drawings. Then you have to deal with changing bar marks, and a never-ending quantity takeoff update story occurs there. So I have just opened such a file. These are, as you can see, just plain texts and polylines and lines. But I will make them come alive here. As I used just before, I will use the convert to rebar command here. And I will say, for example, this is 32, sorry. Let's pick 32. And these won't matter actually. And the quantity is, where's my quantity here? 10. I just simply select this and it turns into an intelligent rebar, just like this. And maybe for this, 26 of them. And it goes just like this. And of course, again, the best part is that you can actually quantify them. Select this region and create a quantity takeoff. Well, as I told before, ProtaDetails can do much more than just creating the detailed drawings of a building model. We know that you're not always dealing with buildings, but other types of structural components as well. We want to make your life easier, so we have a design and detailing library for that purpose. And we are continuously adding on top of them and enhancing the quality and quantity of these libraries. I would like to cover a few examples here. I'm going to start with our latest macro, pool design and detailing. But here you can select from predefined pool geometries. I will go this one. And you can sculpt it to your needs. I'm going with a step pool like this one here, and we have a table to customize it further here. You can change all the geometric features here. And slab geometry is actually automatically generated from the wall geometry, stem geometry that you have provided. But you can edit it further as well. You can view all the slabs, generated slabs, add more slabs, and change their geometry. But next, you will see you need to define the materials and loading. Well, here you can define different soil models for each wall stem according to US and European standards. I have selected the European standard, and all the intermediate load calculation parameters, load parameters are calculated and shown in this interface. Well, let's change the soil profile a little bit. Maybe this is not sand, but instead clay. And I can of course add more layers according to my provided soil profile. But and you can also apply as many surcharge loads as you wish, as point load, line load, strip loads. Let's add a new surcharge load, for example. It can be a strip load, maybe, at this site. And finally, when I'm done, I just say OK and apply this to all my stems. Well, you can apply different soil models to each stem separately. And finally, what I do is I just click the design button. And design is done, and of course you can play with the resulting design, and you can actually change the load case scenarios, etc. The stability checks and RC design, reinforced concrete design, under service and design scenarios are done automatically here. And of course, if I click the transparency, you can visualize the rebars in 3D, as you can see, and you can print the report and see a very detailed report that shows all the geometry, the soil models that you have provided and defined, and all the calculations, intermediate calculations of these soil profile loads. And the final design is listed as well. So before going back to the arena, you can view the detail, preview the detail here, and when you are done, you just simply say click OK and insert it to the arena. Let's get rid of this quantity takeoff. You can take the quantity later on. Let's talk about the other design library options. There are many of them. We cannot go all over them actually, but we have the stairs macro with different options that you can select, and you can create the detailed drawings here, or you have the pile cap macro. Actually, this is the same pile cap interface as it is in the ProtaStructure. Only difference is that you can enter column sizes and positions and column loads manually here. This one as well. And we have the pile design macro. For example, I can add some Whaler beams. Maybe I can select from the different section types, and I can use board or press span. And when it comes to design, you can actually calculate the working loads, and you can perform a lateral analysis. When I select the working load, the soil profile again it can be provided here, and you can enter the information like the design parameters like group efficiency and other design parameters as well here. And you can enter the information coming from the standard penetration test like negative skin friction, and you can play with all other parameters, and finally calculate the working loads, and the diagrams will be automatically generated showing you the pile working load depth versus working load diagram. And if I select the lateral analysis, of course I need to provide the design actions here, the more design actions. And when I'm use the recommended values, and if I say design pile section, of course again here you need to provide a soil model as we have done in the pool macro. And finally, you can inspect all the diagrams like moment, shear, deflection, soil pressure, interaction diagram, etc. And when you are done, you just simply click OK and select an insertion point on the arena. And similarly, you can design corbels, maybe double corbel according to many different standards, design codes like American, Euro code, or Turkish codes, etc. Here as well as get rid of the quantity takeoffs. And actually, when I'm I would like to talk about the cantilever retaining wall macro finally as well. I can confidently say that actually this is one of the most comprehensive solutions for retaining wall design and detailing in the market. Load combinations, the geometries, different geometries with base plates, shear keys, parapets, and shelves can be entered. Again, you can define from a selection of soil parameters. And all the intermediate design calculations are again listed and calculated, and Euro codes, American codes are supported, and all three approaches in Euro codes are supported here. And you can see the intermediate summary, analysis summary, and you can inspect the loads and total failures with according to many different methods, of course. And finally, when you're done with the design, this is a section-based design, and you can inspect the sections and design results at the selected sections when you just hover them. And when you're done with the design, and you can, of course, this is dynamic drawing, and you can change the design here. And when you're done with it, you can take the report and, of course, prepare the detail drawing. This one here. I will move this here. This is not a very neat drawing anymore. And of course, I can place all of them inside a sheet. That's called the sheet command again. This time I will use blank one, I guess. And by the way, these sheets can always be scaled to fit the ingredients here. Okay, when I'm done, of course, again, the best part comes. It's the quantity takeoff, and I can take off all these components. I can take the quantity of all these components at once in a single sheet, just like this. Well, finally, I would like to show the engineering utils as well. As civil engineers, we need some basic but fundamental tools. They are the ones that we have to use to achieve more complex tasks. We had this idea in mind while creating these engineering utilities. You can, for example, calculate the hook lengths, covers, and anchorages for different element types, for different exposure conditions to many different design codes. Similarly, the hook length can be calculated, all the parameters of a hook length. And rebar area calculator can provide you the steel area per meter, and the vice versa. And here is a very extensive unit conversion tool, and the simple beam analysis you can find here with the results of shears and maximum moments, etc. And we have two simple hydraulics macros as well to calculate uniform flow depth and gradually varied flow here. We've seen that you can automatically create drawings of your ProtaStructure projects with just a single click. And you can place them into your title blocks that you have generated. And you can make precision detailing of columns and shear walls. And there is also many options to enrich your drawings manually. Well, we have seen that ProtaDetails is also a full-featured CAD tool with intelligent objects. You can create rebar objects intuitively, convert polylines into intelligent rebars, quantify all rebars, links, tie bars, and mesh steel with complete shape forms, and make use of undo and redo on any operation, of course. And we have a growing component design library like stairs, engineering utilities, corbel design, path footing. Actually, we didn't have time to go over this today, but we will make a new video to showcase this. This is a new path footing module which is available from ProtaStructure and ProtaDetails as well with 2021 version. It's completely rewritten, and it's a lot more comprehensive now. And of course we have the pool macro, and with component detailing I couldn't show them as well, but we have pit foundation, culvert, and shear wall elevation design libraries. What is our biggest advantage? As Prota, our biggest advantage compared to any other solution on the market is that we offer a comprehensive solution for our clients. With ProtaStructure, you can design, model buildings, then perform automated steel and reinforced concrete detailing with ProtaSteel and ProtaDetails tools. You can also coordinate your model with leading BIM players with ProtaBIM. In other words, actually you invest in a single package and own all these technologies. Well, thank you very much for your attendance and support today. For our users, thank you for your continued support. Please continue to contact us through your local support channel with questions. We actually love hearing from you. This is very important for us. For those new to ProtaStructure, we have some very special offers for ProtaStructure Suite 2021 at present. It comes with backed with direct technical support and all the updates. You can email us for a quotation, or you can reach us through protasoftware.com. And of course, please follow us on social media platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Well, thank you very much from the Prota team, and have a nice day. Thank you.